Just got a photograph here sent by Clifford, who's out in the bush in Limpopo. Oh, this Pat Symcox would love this. He's probably doing exactly the same on his deck overlooking the ocean there at Umtwalumi or in that region. There he's taking a photograph of his laptop with the new Balls website front page. Look very nice. And two castle lights either side.
Yeah, but I'm disappointed,
The
man.
bush. But yeah, he's shown us the lodge.
No, no, no. The castle lights are unopened.
Yeah, but he's probably got one in his hand.
Okay, as long as he's not double parked.
Pat's probably nursing something right now, a little glass of something on the deck overlooking the ocean, right, Pat?
No, Darren, I'm not. I'm sitting in my office.
What?
Still working away. Well, some people have got to work, toiling away.
Unusual of you, Patrick, at 5:14. Must be a beautiful evening in Durban.
It is a lovely evening in the South Coast. I've got to tell you, there's a slight east breeze blowing outside. I can see it, and it's all good. It's Monday, and we shoulder to the wheel.
Wow. Are you still known to throw a little line in the ocean every now and again?
Every now and again, we've just had some real bad rain, as you probably know. I mean, around the coastline. So the water's been a bit murky and dirty, and so fish are gone. Even a lot of whales going past, but nothing really coming out from what I hear from my fishing mates. So
Okay.
waste of time to go down.
All right, so you get the heads up and then you take the rods and off you go, eh?
Correct.
Nice.
Correct.
You'll always get spoiled. If you're not following Pat Symcox on Twitter, what is it? What's your handle at?
Pat Symcox.
77. Yeah, at Pat Symcox 77. If you want to see a nice sunrise. Not as nice as the bush sunrises up here, but it's very, very pretty. It takes nice photographs of the sunrises.
The rules are up if they also have a nice sunrise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always nice to sort of see what it's like down on the coast and then look at the bush sunrises. Very nice. So, Pat, haven't spoken for a while, and I thank you for your involvement and comments. You're obviously listening to that show we did on the business with First National Bank Business Banking on Friday, the business of sport, and the whole issue around the BCCI and the subject that we had, which is actually on the screen of Clifford while he's sitting in Limpopo listening to us, is the question: is the BCCI bigger than the game of cricket?
Big question, then, eh?
Yeah.
Big question. Dear.
No. You see, before you answer, Pat, this is kind of I've been trying to figure out why everyone is so scared to talk about this. Okay, I'm not saying you are, but every single person that is either directly involved with Cricket South Africa or involved in cricket still in some way or another, or has a foot in one or either camp. In other words, they have a job which relies on the BCCI liking them. So and I mean commentary and all that stuff goes into it as well. So. I've kind of figured that, everyone is so scared that the BCCI will come down on top of them, they'll lose their job in one way or another.
Or not only the BCCI comes down on top of you, but it comes down on the business that you're working for.
Yeah.
And that has an impact. So nobody's really going to say too much, and I think one's really got to be pretty objective here in this whole... It's an unholy mess, completely.
Yeah.
And I don't want to come across as the guy, well, I'm going to stick my neck out. I can only talk as I see it, and that's only just my view on it, my take on it, which has got similar takes to what I've heard. And I was listening to Fanie the other day, and he was talking some sense.
Yeah, it was.
Well, and I thought he was actually in the other camp because I'd read a story a week or two before in the newspaper, and I'd seen, that he was. I didn't think he was on that side of the fence, and I was on that side of the fence, saying I think that Haroon Lorgat's, position is untenable, and unfortunately, what the hell are we doing? But you came back to the question: is the BCCI bigger than the game? Well, at the end of the day, I mean, if you've travelled to India and you've seen the cricket and you understand how it hangs together, BCCI is probably as big as it gets in the game. They are the game.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, when you really, really drill down to the cricket-playing nations, they're all poor. They're all battling. Sri Lanka rely totally on handouts almost totally handouts from India. Zimbabwe, they poor. The West Indies, poor as a cricketing nation in terms of rands and cents. So Pakistan, battle along. They need the money. So there's a whole lot of countries that are totally reliant on the BCCI's handout. And at the end of it, the BCCI, Indian cricket, has taken cricket for the players and for television income to a totally different level. And some people say, you don't want somebody to be big in the game. Well, unfortunately, somebody has to take the lead. And England and India haven't. They've never taken the lead. And India has, and South Africa, I know that we were buddies with them. We did a lot of work for them, brought the IPL here, etc., etc. But they actually warned us up front. Listen, don't. It's like me saying to you, listen, I'm an advertiser on your show. If you employ that bloke, I'm not going to advertise any longer. So you go ahead and you employ the bloke.
But hold on, that's exactly the point. If you take parallels, I mean, it's a case of where do you draw the line, as you say? If from a radio station, if the advertiser says, I do not want it, I do not like this particular personality or DJ,
Yes.
even though the DJ might be the best one in the country, the best one that they could possibly have, but because there is a personal problem with somebody, it's not necessarily the advertiser, it's not necessarily the brand itself,
Yes.
but it's certain individuals there who have a personality clash with that particular person. That surely is not good business sense. That is, I mean, where do you draw the line? Then your advertiser basically dictates, I don't like Guns N' Roses, don't play it, otherwise I'm not advertising on your station.
Well, what are we in this business for? I mean,
we're in this business to entertain people who are listening to radio when it comes to radio, but you've drawn a perfect analogy. What is the business of cricket all about? Is it about the players, or is it about the BCCI making decisions because they're the ones that basically have all the toys, they have all the money, so therefore, while we have the money, you do as we say?
Well, if you've got yourself into that situation, then, if you pay the fiddler, you've got to dance. And unfortunately, that's where it is. At the moment, the United Cricket or Cricket South Africa need the cash from India's tour. Finished. Last year, from what I understand, they didn't make any profits. So the money they were going to make now was going to carry them for the next 3 or 4 years. And the BCCI know that. They know that if they don't tour South Africa, South Africa need the money. They know that. So listen, guys, if you need the money, this is what we want. Simple. And if you want me to advertise on your radio station, on Ball's Radio, and I'm prepared to pull $1 million in, but I don't want John Walland on there, well, you've got to think pretty nicely.
Sorry, no, he's gone. He's gone. Pat, if you're going to put that much in, he's gone.
He's gone. And I say, John Walland, go on leave for 2 years. Mate, he'll do it. It's quite simple. And that's just the way you might say.
No, I would not do that. I would tell the advertiser, sorry, but there's a certain moral principle that you have to do here.
Within that limit, I'm pushing the
No, I know. But we understand your analogy there, yeah.
But the analogy is quite simple. But what was interesting for me was it didn't come out the blue. It wasn't as if the BCCI said, look, oh, no, you've appointed him. They said up front, listen, we're not happy with this bloke. There's been issues that we've been dealing with, and we're not comfortable with what has gone down before, so we have a problem. Please deal with it in a nice way. And we then go and announce the tour before the time and release the fixtures, and then we announce that we've appointed Arun Lorgat. And as nice a bloke as Arun, or competent as he is, there were issues there that probably weren't fully understood completely, and now we are faced with, do we lose 200 million, or do we give Arun Lorgat 5 bar and tell him to have a nice life in Cape Town for 2-3 years? Well, for me, it's quite easy. Go and spend some time on the beach in Cape Town and enjoy spending the back. Quite simple. There's not even an issue.
Where do you draw the line, Pat? What's the next thing they're going to say? What's the next thing they're going to demand? Because although it was never put down, cast in stone, DRS is another example where they're the only ones that don't use it. Why?
Well, that's their prerogative. I mean, that's what the law. They're not. No one. We might also have that right. We also have that right to say no, but we choose the other way.
Yeah.
And people have that right. South Africa might wake up after this tour and say, "Well, we're not happy with the deal. We don't want to use. That's our right." And they are well within their rights. But I don't see. I understand what you come from. What line do we draw here?
Exactly.
Well, I probably need to deal with by case and see where we go. But the stakes are extremely high in terms of what they were dealing with. Cricket is not just only about the test team and the one-day team. It's much more than that. It goes right through. There's a development program. It needs money needs to be funded. The provincial teams that need funding. There are vendors. I heard the bloke talking. There are a lot of people in this country that rely on cricket as a business. Forget that it's only a game. It's a business. There are a lot of people that rely on that. And you were playing with those stakes when you made that call. And that clearly was you live and die by that decision. So you made the wrong call, and now you pay the price for it.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel. Anyway.
Well, I just see a scenario maybe in time South Africa becomes the most powerful nation in cricket financially. We have the muscle, and when England come and tour, we tell them, listen, we'll play you, but we don't want Kevin Peterson because a lot of our cricket South Africa guys don't like him. It's like John Foster telling England you can come play, but you can't have Basil Dollarera in your side.
Yeah, you make some good points, and I'll give them to you. You just asking my opinion. I'm giving.
No,
them to you.
absolutely.
But I think that it's been handled very poorly. And let's be honest. I mean, if you got a vested interest in cricket, you've invested a serious amount of bucks in promoting the brand, your brand. You're looking forward to the tour. There's boxes. There's lots of things that attach to this, and it's put cricket on the front page as opposed to where it should be. And whenever cricket ends up on the front page for the wrong reason, it can't be right. It can't be right.
Yeah. And the guys that are supposed to be the custodians of the game, I think, is there one tooth somewhere there?
Are you going to talk to ICC now?
Well, they haven't been mentioned once here, and you would imagine that they should be because they're supposedly the custodians of the game.
Well, I'm not sure they are. I think they're
they're not.
It's a facilitating body.
Yeah.
That facilitates between countries and tries to help in many other aspects as well, other than at the top level. So there are agreements in place, and they run technical committees that help, and they do quite a good job. They're not there to tell India to get stuffed or to tell South Africa to toe the line. That's not their role. They facilitate. And we know Dave Richardson. He heads it up. So, and Swinger, I've spoken to him often about it. He's not there to make rules. He's there to facilitate and negotiate his way around issues that they have done already.
Yeah.
And obviously they couldn't. I would have believed by now they tried. I mean, really sat down and said, "Come on, guys, see where we go here." And India are pretty adamant. There's got to be something, and I don't know what it is, but there's got to be something that has really peed them off quite extensively, and that hasn't sort of come out, has it?
No, we don't know.
Not really sure what it really is.
Well, I don't know if it was something to do with DRS, something that Haroon Lorgat did. Some people are saying it's DRS, but yeah, as you say, no one has really come out and said. And we can ask him, but he's not going to tell you. It's like, Haroon, why are they so cross with you? Why are they so cheesed with you? And he's not saying. So we're all in the dark here as to this whole scenario.
But that's a very good point, because remember they were vehemently opposed to using the DRS, and they didn't want to use it until they had to. They're forced to almost.
No, no one's forced to. We've already, John, we were talking about this about 3-4 minutes ago.
No, I'm sure.
And you see, we would have Pat Symcox on the show a lot more if you weren't here.
Why? Pat?
Because you don't listen to his interviews.
I was listening to him now. But it's true.
Pat, we must talk to you some more. It's been far too long.
Yeah, and tell me, are you watching the cricket?
No, we're not. Well, I mean, I have been watching the. Yeah.
I've been following it. A big game.
Yeah. It's well, the batting's a little bit of a problem, eh?
A little bit.
I'm trying to be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big game on Wednesday. Got to win that. If you don't win that, you can go downhill.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, maybe we'll get a chance to have a chat about the back page stuff, the cricket, sometime in the near future. I can also let you know, Cricket Guy in the Suit with Paul Harris on Thursday. He tells me one of Graham Smith or Fanie de Villiers will be on, so we can have a chat to them about it. Always great to chat to you, Pat. Thanks a lot for spending some time with us today, bud.
Look after yourselves.
You too.
Cheers, Pat.
We will do.
Cheers,
We'll
Pat.
catch up with you again soon. Cheers, bud. Bye.
Bye.
There we go, Pat Symcox. Yeah, him and Fanie, generally, do they always agree with stuff or not?
No,
sometimes they do, sometimes they
yeah,
don't.
sometimes at opposite.
Both of them make a lot of
ends,
sense, and I
but,
think it's a lot clearer now as to exactly which way the grass grows in the world of cricket. And yeah, the shots are called by the BCCI, so effectively, when it comes to cricket, if they're okay with it, it's fine. But they probably are bigger than the game.
Get that and your other favorite sound clips from bulls.co.za now.